What's up, everybody? Al King here. Got some sad news for today, everybody. This morning when I woke up, I got a text message from a new leader with Crazygood, someone who just came on board and was doing a pretty fantastic job of carrying out the mission of letting people know what is really going on and moving people forward. And we were just on the verge of doing something special when I guess the doors finally shut on the Crazygood opportunity. So it is with deep regret and sadness that I have to report this news to the world, to TNG world, that Crazygood is no more. It was a good run, and I think it was one of the best opportunities in the industry in the past few years. It just didn't catch on. And, this is sort of that moment where I guess I'm supposed to do that customary high road nonsense. And that's exactly what I think a lot of it is when people take the high road, quote unquote. Because many people will do it just for the wrong reasons. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. This is where I'm supposed to say that somehow I failed as a leader, that I didn't lead my people, that I didn't motivate my own team and didn't inspire my own team. And yet, again, that would be nonsense. And I'm not going to do that just so people can respond and say, oh, Al, you were great. It was me, it was this, it was that. For people to really confirm what I already know. So I've just decided to just be real about it and just be honest about it. Crazygood failed because of you. There were tons of people who joined the Crazygood opportunity, and you were one of them. Or you didn't join the opportunity. And honestly, that's why they failed. That's why they went out of business. Primarily the people who were on board from the beginning. And the fact that they didn't stay with it, that they didn't continue to push and promote the opportunity like they were supposed to. Because look, that was our job. Our job was to grow the company. That was what we were all assigned to do. That was our assignment. It was to help grow the company. And yet I cannot tell you how many times there were people who would join and they would act like the company was supposed to grow by itself. Like there were people who would join and say, oh, there's no one on the network. Well, dummy, and I don't mean to go there, but I mean, what other word can I use? When the video clearly states that we're going to pay you to grow the network and then you don't grow the network, why are you complaining about the number of people on the network? Your job is to grow the network. Now, again, so, I'm already thinking about all the mixed reactions that are going to go on out there in the cyberspace, and I'm going to just keep it real. I could care less because I know what I know. Look, we created so much to help people make this thing work. Most of the people on our team didn't even use the tools. They felt like they knew better. They had their own ideas. They were going to do it their way. And that's what I mean. I could easily say that this is my fault, that, that I didn't do enough, or look for fault with myself just so other people could come back and say, oh, no, Al, it wasn't you. Or I can just cut right to the chase and say it wasn't me. Hey, I did my part, right? And I don't want people to inbox me and pump me up and lift me up and say, Al, you tried and this, that. I know. But that's also why we built the one MLM system. Because any company can go out of business. Now, I was chatting with a gentleman this morning, and I had the luxury and the blessing of starting out with ACN when they were pretty young still, and yet they were around long enough. And I stuck to the company long enough to really see and learn stuff that a lot of people I feel on my in this industry didn't learn. Such as, for one, the importance of good leadership at the top. When you've got good leadership at the top, like the founders, when they're strong, when they know what they're doing, good things are generally going to unfold. But you can't just have a good founder or a good founding team. You also have to have leadership in the field. And for those who don't know the ACN story, I've told it so many times in other training videos, especially trainings and audios for Crazygood, because this is what I told my team. They didn't listen. Most of them did not listen. They heard it, but they didn't hear it. ACN had a magic 20, if you will. 20 leaders who came together and decided to build that company no matter what. They had problems with the VHS tape. The company wasn't perfect from day one, but their leaders didn't quit. They stuck together. And that's why 20 plus years later, ACN is still around. I'm gonna tell you guys something. We found Crazygood in 2010, and I say we, but it was me and some of the people I was working with at the time. And at the time, it was a great idea, still a great idea. But Crazygood never had the leadership. There was no visible founding team, and what was worse was there was no leadership team in the field. So I'm not surprised, because the very thing I told my team over and over and over again that we needed to do, many of the members of my team decided not to do. And so again, should I blame me? Right? Maybe I should be a better leader. Maybe I should, get on people's cases a little bit more and try to force people to do stuff and do all the things that other leaders do. Cross line, recruit people, take your downlines from you guys, do all of that stuff. Then maybe you'll listen to what I'm saying, right? But the reality is, none of us can force anyone to do anything that they don't want to do. So you out there, you have your reasons for why you didn't listen, and why you didn't participate, and why you wouldn't promote, and why you wouldn't show up to meetings, and why you wouldn't watch the trainings. You have your reasons. And the reality is, I'm just going to be honest here, I cannot think of maybe 2 or 3 people off the top of my head who went from Crazygood to some other opportunity and turned into a top earner there. I can maybe think of one guy who hit thousandaire status in Solivay, but that was before Solivay changed their comp plan. And outside of that gentleman, I really can't think of anybody else that left Crazygood and went on to do something great and fantastic. Oh, you know what? 2 other leaders that I do know of, but to be fair and honest, they were doing well already before Crazygood came out, and they really didn't team up in Crazygood. They just kind of looked at it and kind of kept on going. And there's so many leaders out there like that, so many great leaders from other opportunities who frowned upon Crazygood. They looked down on it. They said, "Oh, I don't want to make $1 a person." And yet, in my mind, mind, that's sort of why I don't work with a lot of them, because you're going to turn down a $10 business, which means that now you have the opportunity to help anybody for as low as $10, because you'd rather promote companies that are higher so you can make more money off of each person. That's the logic behind a lot of leaders, quote unquote, in the industry. And so Crazygood is dead. Crazygood is done. Crazygood is closed down. And the reason is simple. It's not because they were a scam. They paid me on time every month for 3.5 years. Crazygood didn't close down because trying to think of what are some of the reasons that a lot of companies close down. But many of those reasons, which I'm kind of drawing a blank right now, those aren't why Crazygood closed down. They closed down for the other reason that a lot of MLMs close down. Just not enough leaders, not enough people who are committed to the opportunity, who even understand opportunity. Because look, if 20,000 people would have joined Crazygood would have been bringing in about 200 grand a month. They would have been paying out 100 grand a month to the field, but they would have 100 grand a month to operate their business on. What kind of social network could they have given us if they were bringing in that kind of money? But you guys don't think about that type of stuff because you're not really who a lot of you say you are. You're lost and you're not following good leaders. You aren't listening to people that are telling you what's going on. So look, I'm gonna tell you guys. We're going to look for something else to put into the system, but that's the thing. For those of you who are part of Top Networkers Group, we're not really worried. Our structure is in place. We have other opportunities. We have other streams. And we prepared you for this, just in case, right? Just in case the company goes out of business. We don't want to lose our income just because of whatever, right? Just because people are hard-headed, just because people don't have vision and don't have a real education. We don't want to lose our income, and our, it's not based on a company. It's about the team. And this is why. See, two of the companies that we have are pretty solid. MCA and Solivay. Well, three of them. MCA, Solivay, and Wake Up Now. These are three very solid companies, right? With Wake Up Now, both of the owners, most of the people who helped put that company together, they were millionaires before they started Wake Up Now, right? MCA was in business for, I think, 50-something years before adding a marketing arm to go out and find more associates. So in other words, they were already a successful company before adding the MLM structure. Solivay was started by people who had a lot of money already. So these are companies that aren't strapped for cash, that aren't probably going out of business anytime soon. And yet, we never really know. That is why, if you're not doing it, folks, if you're not listening, please stop what you're doing for a moment and listen. Put your big ass ego to the door. Because again, I mean, look, with the small team of people we had in Crazygood, and I'm just talking about my team, right? If my team would have just listened, we could have made it work. But, and I'm going to be honest now, I'm about to get really candid. I had so many leaders who signed up who couldn't do what I asked them to do. Just so many. And it was a shame because I call them leaders because that's how they view themselves. But really, and I'm going to say it to you right now if you're watching, you were not a leader. You weren't. and calling yourself one. With your big ass egos, you guys. Look, I had one guy meant well. He paid for everybody to come in. Paid for everybody. A year later, all the people he paid for quit. And he tells me I'm tired of these lazy people. Meanwhile, I've been telling the guy for a year and a half, don't do it that way. You can't pay people's way into an opportunity, especially an opportunity that costs $10. You can't do that, you guys. I was telling them, look, we gotta do 3 ways. All this old school stuff that these new guys don't like. Didn't want to do that. We got to do some videos together. Didn't want to do that. I had another partner. Seemed like he couldn't put the time in because his wife wanted him to run errands, and so when he wasn't running errands for his wife or chilling watching sports, there was no real time being put into the things that build a business. I had others who would join, and even though we had tools and systems and websites, they wanted to build their own website, which didn't convert. I had people who would send out those 5 or 6 paragraph emails with the link. I would tell them, don't do that. They would do it anyway. It wouldn't work. So now here we are, you guys. And Crazygood is closed now. And, look, there are a lot of companies out there that would be far more successful if some of you guys would stop doing things your own way. Because this issue happens in every single network marketing company. It's just that Crazygood wasn't strong enough to take that hit, to absorb the hit of ignorant network marketers joining with really big egos who don't know what the hell they're doing and won't listen to those that do. Crazygood just couldn't withstand it. There's a lot of companies out in the industry right now that are struggling to keep their doors open right now, but they're keeping them open because they can withstand the hit. But some of those companies are going to fall by the wayside. Not all of those companies are going to make it to the end of 2014. Many of them won't be around by 2015. And that's just business. So look, wake up. If you don't know what you're doing, if you're not sponsoring people in the opportunity that you're in, if you're part of my team and you're not making money right now, stop doing things your own way. You don't know what the hell you're doing. Look, I probably personally sponsored about 20 to 30 people personally in Crazygood. Okay? Personally. If my people would have just done what I told them to do, they would have sponsored between 20 and 30, if not more. And then their people would have done the same exact thing, and we would have made that opportunity work. Because, see, that's what the people from ACN did when they got started. Those 20 leaders made the company work. You guys don't even understand that. You don't understand that. And that's who is joining the MLM industry. A bunch of people who don't read books, who don't study business, who don't know what the hell they're doing, and you're not listening to those that do. So stop doing it, you guys. Insanity means doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. If you want a different result in network marketing, stop doing what the hell you're doing right now. Stop. Stop jumping from company to company to company to company. Stop chasing pre-launches. Stop doing all of this nonsense. Stop listening to gurus that aren't your sponsor. Stop listening to uplines that aren't in your company. Right? Listen to the people who have a direct relationship with you. And together, you can do something special. So look, you guys, for all of you who are, you know, looking for a real way to make money in this industry, sign up for the 1MLM system. Because what we're talking about is exactly what just happened. Any company can go out of business. It's business. That's what happens. Mergers and acquisitions and closures. It's business. The MLM model itself is a strong model. But companies are nothing without the people. We make the company, you guys. We break the company too. All right. You know, that's enough. Look, sign up. And look, if you're on our ship, you already know how it goes. Play by the rules, or you get kicked to the plank. Right? Top Networkers Group. Thank you for watching. Let's do something special, you guys. Let's team up. Let's work together. Let's pitch the big vision. If you don't know what you're doing, shut your mouth, listen, and learn. Top Networkers Group. See you at the top.